Now, today marks World Mental Health Day, and with the rise in levels of anxiety and depression caused by COVID-19, there's never been such an important time to raise awareness of the issue. The Open Dialogue Trial, which is the biggest mental health trial in the NHS, is currently taking place and is trying to change the approach we take on mental health care. It was first pioneered in northern Finland and was so successful there that psychiatric ward beds were being left empty. Let's speak now to Dr. Russell Razak. He's a consultant psychiatrist and open dialogue trainer. Doctor, thank you so much for talking to us this morning. How does this method change the approach to mental health care?
Yeah, I guess there's several ways in which it's different. It's a kind of advance from how we work at the moment. The first thing is that it kind of involves bringing families and people's networks in, so bringing all their loved ones into the care. So instead of just looking after one person and taking them out and trying to treat them, you actually see the issue that exists amongst a whole range of people and that they can all work together to help find solutions and ways forward. It's very much about teaching staff to work with networks, work with families, use those kind of systemic skills to help to make a difference. The other thing is that it also involves working in a less hierarchical way, so that there's a more collaborative atmosphere that we create ultimately, so that each of these people are seen as genuine partners. Instead of sort of us as the clinicians telling people what to do, they have their own expertise, they have their own sort of lifetimes together, and they can help to teach us. So it's a sort of process that we go on together. We learn from each other, we bring all the loved ones and important people together. And the third thing is that we've used in our UK adaptation is that we bring peer workers into the teams, i.e. people who have lived experience. So they have a form of experience that's not based on books, but based on their actual life histories. And that actually really helps bring that expertise to the table and create a sense of respect and understanding for the experience that's been had and the kind of learning and the growth that occurs as a result. The idea, therefore, is to create a bit of a sort of safe space where people can actually feel free to open up and start unpacking some of the things that brought them here in the first place. And because of that, hopefully they gain this sense of independence because they're realizing that actually a lot of the healing is coming from themselves. The idea is that we hope to replicate some of the evidence that they found in Finland, where actually only as I say, a sort of small proportion of people stayed in the service long term because they got this actual support from the beginning, and they were able to develop their own sense of independence by the team working with all of them together, cultivating that community around the issue and helping them find their own narratives and find their own ways out. That's very much what the model involves, and as I say, it's a large trial, but also a lot of trusts are using it as part of the transformation at the moment because a lot of these aspects are already recommended by the way we should work. So we're trialing, implementing it in a range of trusts across the country.
Yeah, how easy is it going to be to scale it up? If it's a trial now, how easy is it going to be then to train other people, if you are going to adopt it, to then go out and treat people in this way?
Yeah, sure. So at the moment, we've got 5 trusts involved in the main trial, but on top of that, a lot of aspects of open dialogue are actually already currently recommended by NHS England. So in our the most recent transformation program, they've talked about the importance of relational care, where we put the relationship back into the heart of care again. They've talked about the importance of involving people's communities, networks. They've talked about the importance of trauma-informed care, so that people can form their stories about what's been happening, and that's key to treatment. They've talked about the importance of peer workers. So a lot of this is already actually in the recommendation, which is why while we wait for the results of some of the aspects of this way of working, a lot of it can already be implemented and already is. So, for example, next week I'm helping to train 5 trusts from across the country in this, so that a lot of their community services can move this way. It does involve training for staff to have a new perspective and learn these new skills, but we're already beginning to roll it out, and we're seeing each time we do it creates a bit of a snowball effect because it has a really positive effect on the staff as well. They really enjoy this way of working. It equips them up, and it helps them form deeper relationships than they've ever had before.
Just away from the trial, Mental Health Day, I just want to ask you, do you think it's important that we do take the time to notice that it is Mental Health Day and to raise awareness about it?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's a really great thing that we have a specific day every year as World Mental Health Day. I think, as you know, it's a vast issue and experience that affects a lot of people, and especially after COVID in particular. As a world, we're kind of coming out, some of us are sort of beginning to coming out of the worst aspects of the pandemic, but coming into, often after you've been through a real stress, it's only afterwards that it really hits you psychologically, and that's actually where we're seeing in our services. The surge coming into mental health services is coming up now, after the pandemic, because it's often an after effect. The mental health effect is an after effect. So it's really important that we're aware of this and that we can kind of stay in touch with people, and those connections are the most important thing. Actually, being able to open up to people around you has a massively positive effect on people's mental health. So being aware of that, maintaining that connection with friends and family can help us stay well together and avoid getting sucked into mental health services and sort of severe mental health problems. So this awareness, I think, is really helpful. It can actually make a difference on the ground. And also awareness of things like the latest innovations, like we're talking about today, Open Dialogue, that are going to make a difference, hopefully, significantly in the long term.
Okay. Dr. Razak, thank you so much for talking to us this morning.
Thank you.